Morning all and welcome to Cairns for the 2019 Underwater Hockey National Championships. We have game number 76 being brought to you live this morning with the Elite Men, Queensland versus Victoria, with Queensland white and Victoria black. Seconds left until play starts here. Play underway here is Victoria has a streaking attack here for strike, and they're going to take control of it and try and drive it over to the far wall. Lots of numbers on the bottom there as each team tries to push it forward. Victoria bringing it up the wall though. Queensland holding it over into that far corner. Right next to Queensland's sub bench. Their forward should be trying to push it up and having the sub do the breath for them. Queensland pushing it forward. Queensland continuing to push it forward with a nice curl and recycle back into one of his backline. He's going to take it forward here. No, you go do that one. Queensland was still pushing there until they ran into some nice strong Victorian defence who's taking it over towards the far wall. Queensland trying to bring it in to the middle here, right in front of the goal tray. And we have a referee signalling here now. 1, 2, 3 referees, they agree. We have a goal for cap number 2 for Queensland. Good start there by Daniel Russell for us. Queensland coming out here nice and strong on this one, and they're going to try and bring it over to this near side wall and push it forward. Have a referee signaling right on top of the play here for chopping against Victoria. Queensland will be enjoying this, being able to push forward here once more. Queensland here all over the puck as they try and drive it in. Plenty of Victorian defenders trying to push it out of the goal tray. We have Queensland coming in and sweeping it underneath the Victorian bodies. They're trying to chip it over the top of the last man to get it forward into the goal. But the last man doing a good job here and trying to force it out. We have referee signalling on the other side of the goal tray. But he's just doing an advantage play. Now we have him signalling again for chopping against the Victorians here again. Queensland will set up, take a few nice breaths before they have another crack at goal here. Referees are ready. Victorians getting down nice and early here in the back line, right on top of their goal tray. Queensland doing a flick into the middle of it, and it's going to pop out this side. Players are going to try and push it in here. Let's hope that they don't do any gloving, but we have a referee signaling no goal for gloving by Queensland here. Victoria will be very glad for that call, and they're going to have a couple subs come out here as they try and drive it away and keep Queensland out. Victorian back coming here, and he's going to try and do a switch by the look of it across to the far side. They're going to keep driving it forward. Queensland defenders getting in there, and they're going to try and flick it back over to this side here. Bring it round here. Doing a nice attempt curl back to bring it back onto the inside. Victorian defenders jumping in on top of it and forcing it over to this wall. Back tackling here by a Queensland forward. Victoria pushing it forward here slowly. Queensland boys managing to push it back towards the Victorian goal. Victorians though getting their backs in there and forcing it up the pool here. Nice job here by Sam as he tries to take it forward. His left half though saw what was going on and decided, I'll take that and drive it up the pool here. Queensland backs getting in there nicely to try and drive it forward. Queensland defenders doing a good job of reading the play here, but we have a signal for chopping against them. Queensland boys doing a nice drive up the far side of the court there. Running into some stiff Victorian defence right underneath the Victorian box. Have a referee signalling for chopping on the arm against Victoria. Three Queensland forwards coming out here for a nice little sub break. Nice quick flick there by the Queensland back, staying down nicely to try and drive it forward. Victorian defenders doing a good job, but Queensland forcing it over this way. Nice job beating underneath the Victorian bodies here as they drive it towards the goal tray. Plenty of numbers on the bottom here by Queensland, and they're all coming to the surface as the referee signals for a goal. Cap number 7 for Queensland. That would be Marco Roloffs. Play underway here at the moment with the Queensland boys not knowing what was going on as they are 2 up at the moment. Queensland driving it forward nice and strongly here. Victorian defenders getting in on top and doing nice curl steals and then flicking it forward to their forwards, staying down to back them up to drive it forward here again. Queensland players managing to steal it and drive forward themselves. They're going to flick it forward to their forwards onto the far side of the court. And they're going to try and drive it forward nice and quickly before running into some stiff Victorian defence. Victoria managing to come out with it on that little scrap there and take it over to the far wall. Right underneath their sub bench. I'm sure plenty of them will be taking a nice quick sub here. Have a referee signalling for a referee timeout. Referee's not quite agreeing in the water, and the deck ref is going to bring them over to discuss what's going on. One of the referees wants to send someone out for 2 minutes. He's saying he saw something, but the other two are going, we don't know. He's very unhappy with the play. They're calling for a cap number 5. They are now going for cap number 14 from Victoria. Unfortunately, on my sheet, I don't know who that is, but he is being sent out for 2 minutes for a head flick. Referee believing it was slightly deliberate. Queensland are going to go for a nice, strong attack here with having an extra body in the water. And they slowly make their way up the wall, but they need to bring it onto the inside here. Victorian defenders jumping on top of a loose puck and taking it over to the far corner. Queensland currently unable to dig it out and push it forward into the goal tray, as the Victorian defenders have got subs nearby. Queensland trying to drive it around the side here. Victorian backs jumping on top of the flicked puck where there was no Queensland forward and taking it over to the corner again where it's nice and safe. Queensland backs have got to get in there now and try and pull it out and flick it around here. Get it away from that corner. Otherwise, Victoria will manage to get through this session unscathed. Victorian back just sitting down there holding in the corner where Queensland can't get to it. Victorian backline. They've got their forwards coming back and playing as backs here at the moment as they're doing a nice rotation here through the line. And we have a referee signaling in the corner on the far side there for chopping against Victoria and gloving. And we have Sam here, upset with his boys, saying just push it in, pull it and push. They're going to try and flick it around him here. They've got numbers on the side here, but they managed to try to chip it back onto the inside. And it's being driven onto the corner of the goal tray there. Plenty of Victorian bodies sitting on the goal tray as they try to drive it out here. Lots of kicking being done as they try to force it around. We have referee signaling advantage play. 2 of them, 3 of them. And now we're going to have one do a call here. The buzzer has stopped working. Here we go. Players not listening to the buzzer. We have fouls against Victoria. Victoria have 6 people in the pool once again. And we have 3 Queenslanders and 1 Victorian going for a sub here. Queensland really need to get this in, as we have a Victorian captain here signaling for a team timeout to give his boys some well-deserved air after they did a terrific effort of keeping Queensland out for that 2-minute period. Queensland will be taking this puck here as they are 2 up at the moment, 2-0 over Victoria for their next attack on the Victorian goals. Victoria's forwards driving out nicely there to cut down on Sam's options. Lots of bodies here as Queensland try to slide it underneath the Victorian defenders, and looks like we're going to have a goal here for Queensland. That'll bring it to 3-0 for cap number 12. James Rosita managed to slide underneath the Victorian defender's elbow in the nice little gap there and get it into the goal. Victorian players here. Did a little bit of braking as he heard the wrong buzzer. He had to swim back to hit the wall before he could come forward again. Queensland putting plenty of pressure onto Victoria, as Victoria had to do a reverse 45 to keep possession of the puck before they can move it forward. Now that being driven across the pool here with Queensland taking possession, trying to move it around. Victorian defenders staying on the bottom for lots of time before they drive it over to the far corner. Victoria trying to push it up here to get it up to their sub bench so they can get some fresh legs in. Every time Queensland takes it forward, they just pull it and then throw it into the corner and have a player sit there. One of the boys coming out now for a quick sub break to get some fresh legs in as Queensland try to swim it around them here. But we have a referee signaling, and that will be time. That's the end of the first half here, with Queensland currently leading 3-0. We have the coach and captain Sam telling the Queensland boys that they need to move it around more and dig it out of the corners, and we have the Victorians saying that they need to drive it into the corner and then try and consolidate, take it to the sub bench, and then get some fresh legs in to drive it up the wall. Game about to restart here with Queensland leading 3-0. Queensland back sitting a hold of it here, and they're going to try and do some V's, but Victoria have seen it, and they're trying to drive it up the wall, up the court here. Queensland back's doing a nice curl here to try and keep possession of it and taking it towards the wall. Victoria driving it forward slowly. They're going to try and bring it out from the wall. Queensland players getting in there to try and drive it back into it. Queensland going to bring it out here. Victoria going to take it back into the wall. Sam doing some double flicks here to try and get it past. And we have a referee signaling on the far side of play. Goal for black number 1. Reese Quilford managed to drive that one in for the Victorians to bring the score to 3-1. Sam telling his boys they need to take it wide out of the diamond into the safe zone instead of trying to drive it straight up the court. Queensland with a nice strong strike there and swerve around the Victorian player, and they're gonna take it up the court here. Sam coming in there in a nice quick attack, but the Victorians seem to have moved it around him onto the wall, and he's going to try and do a little breakaway here for the moment. Queensland backs have got to get down there and try and stop him. Managed to get on top of him before he could bring it along the diamond back into the goal tray. Victoria trying to bring it into the middle of the court here. Queensland back saw it, and he's going to try and take it back out into the drive it forward. Curls here by the Queensland players, but Victorians jumping in from behind to do some nice back tackling. Queensland going to try and pass it up the wall here. Victorian players waiting for him and trying to rip it out from their grasp. Queensland driving out the wall again, piece by piece. Queensland slowly making some ground as Victoria try to swim it out and around them, and then bring it up over towards the wall as the Queensland backs jump down on top of them to try and cut down the play. They need to take possession of the puck here, the Queensland players, as backs are getting plenty of stick on puck, but not coming out with it. Victoria doing a nice drive here as they try to take it forward. We have a referee signaling right on top of the play. A little bit of advantage play being played here. Victoria trying for another drive. Queensland backs jumping on top of them here. I'm going to try and swim it over to the far side of the court. Queensland still have possession as they drive it up the far side here. Nice little bit of a breakaway with the Victorian defender right on top of him, and the defender's going to shut him down nice and quickly here. Onto the far side, right underneath the Victorian sub bench, and they're going to have a couple players go for a nice little sub here before Queensland can steal it and try and drive forward here again. Queensland continuing to push it up the wall here as they play this wall game. Need it. Queensland back driving it back into the middle of the pack instead of swimming it around them all. And we have referee on this side of the goal here signaling. No goal. He is saying that they had two black players pushing each other, so they had one black stick on the puck and another one pushing the stick forward in an illegal stick, and they're going to foul them. And Sam's going to come here, nice high big flick over the top to try and get it into the goal tray, and they managed to pop it out to the side, and the Queensland forward's seen it and he's driven it straight into the goal. We have the deck ref signaling no goal. Deck ref calling a ref timeout here at the moment for no goal. Both teams broke, and they're going to do a reset here. Referees went ready, and Queensland jumped the gun a little bit, as did the Victorians. Queensland going to have another crack here, though. Referee playing advantage puck here at the moment. Lots of numbers on the bottom here. Looks like Victoria's going to try and drive it out here. Flick it over towards the side and hope that their forward can grab it, and he has, and he's taking it over to the wall, and he's going to try and do a nice little runaway here. Sam tried to do a little back flick instead of doing a curl, and the Victorians are going to try and take it further up here. Victoria pushing it nice and quickly over the top and chipping it over the top of the Queensland defender. Last man there, flicking it back into the corner. Victoria doing some chipping to try and get it past into the middle, but we have a referee signaling against them. Queensland going to have the puck here, and they're going to try and drive it up the wall past the Victorians. Queensland fullback coming in here to do a flick to try and get it forward. Victorian defenders have jumped on it though, and it's on the wall again. We have one of the Queensland boys trying to make sure it stays on the wall and not coming in as the Victorians try to push it forward. Queensland trying to drive it up the wall here once again, out of the corner. Try and dig in and it out. Looks like they're moving it forward slowly. Victorian defenders have jumped on it though as Queensland tried to bring it in to the middle of the pool. Queensland backs staying on the bottom here for some good bottom time so they can pass it forward up the wall. Sam going in there to try and push it forward a bit more. Victoria driving it up here little bit by little bit. Queensland have jumped on top of them though and pushed it up the pool. Victorian backs though down, ready to sweep up any easy pucks. They're going to take it to the wall here and curl it back, trying to recycle the puck. Queensland trying to jump in on top of them, but he wasn't on the bottom. And it looks like Victoria going to drive it up the pole a little bit more. Victoria defenders not sitting on the bottom, and Queensland are going to take that puck, and he's passed it to no one. Like a forward saw him, and he's picked it up and driven it up the wall. Sam coming in here on the wall, and he's going to try and take this puck. But we have referee signaling for chopping against Victoria. Chopping a Queensland arm. Have Queensland forward going out there for a nice little sub break. Victoria calling a team timeout. Play will begin shortly with Queensland 3-1 over Victoria here in the Elite Men's Division. With the Victorians having been fouled before the stop of play for chopping a Queensland arm. Sam will have his left half take it and try and take it on a diagonal across the court here. Queensland going to try and drive it up here, stealing it off the Victorians and driving it back towards the middle of the goal tray. The Victorians have got a hold of it and taking it out to the far corner. Queensland trying to drive it forward again, but we have a referee signaling here. Advantage play right on the goal tray. And we have him signaling now. Chopping on the arm against Victoria. Referee signaling that they're ready. Sam is gonna take this one. He's gonna try and chip it in. Victorian defenders gave him a little bit of time there, but they've come out with it and push it over to the side. Queensland chipping it back in towards the goal tray. Victorian defenders sitting in on the goal tray lip and driving it out to the side. Victoria making a little bit of ground up to their sub bench here. They're going to have a few subs, drive it up the wall. Sam sitting down there and waiting for him. Queensland going on a quick attack here. They're going to try and move it around into the middle of the court. Victorian defenders jumping on top of them and shutting it down. Queensland's curled it back onto the inside here, and they're going to curl it back and try and recycle it. Victoria's got it there, and they're going to try and take it up to the far wall. Queensland doing a nice, quick little attack there. Everyone's just giving up on the puck there as Victoria's one of their backs have taken it. Queensland got the puck here again as he did a nice block. He's going to try and chip it up, and he's going to stay down and try and drive it forward. Lots of Queensland numbers there to push it in towards the goal tray. I have a referee signaling here. And we have a goal. Referee's not sure as to which cap number. They're going to say cap number 5 for Queensland. That'll bring the score to 4-1 with Queensland over Victoria. Queensland getting to the puck there first that time. Victoria stealing it and driving it over to the wall. Queensland going to try and pass it back to their backs and chip it. A nice high chip over the top of one Victorian before the Victorians jump on him. Queensland forwards hitting him hard and trying to drive it up here again. Victorian backs just smacking it off the Queensland stick and moving it over to the wall to flick up to his other players. Queensland backs going for a switch, but seeing that it's being shut down from Victoria, going to bring it back to the wall before he tries to slide underneath the Victorian to another one of his players. Queensland trying to bring it out here from the wall, but Victoria jumping in on top of them straight away and taking it back to the wall and trying to chip it back up. Queensland trying to bring it into the middle of the court here and swimming it around them. They need to do a curl here and bring it back, but Victoria's got a stick on it and they're going to drive it over to the far corner again. Right, and then they're going to try and push it up to their sub branch and get a quick little break here, get some fresh legs. Queensland need to move it away from that wall into the middle of the court, but Victoria's got a hold of it and they're going to do a nice quick drive here. Up past halfway. Queensland back's got a stick on it, but he can't stop them rolling forward. Plenty of Victorian numbers there. Queensland backs have got managed to slow them down right next to the Queensland sub bench. And we have a referee signalling here. For chopping on the arm against Queensland. And that is full time with Queensland coming out on top. I believe it was 4-1 the final score. We had both teams there giving congratulations to each other. Nice show of sportsmanship going on here.